white flag waving, this is to the bitter end. 'Cause this is what I live for, I never quit, no, no, this is what I live for. I take another swing, so I never miss, no, no, this is what I live for. It's time to kiss the ring, oh, I'm trying to get cold. 'Cause this is what I live for, this is what I live for. I never quit, no, no, this is what I live for. So what's the damage? If you got bones with what I said, I didn't plan this, but I'll keep going till I'm dead. I don't need company, no, I'll ride alone instead. You might want something, 'cause you're cleaning up my mess. I don't wanna see that white flag waving, this is to the bitter end. 'Cause this is what I live for, I never quit, no, no, this is what I live for. I take another swing, so I never miss, no, no, this is what I live for. It's time to kiss the ring, oh, I'm trying to get cold. 'Cause this is what I live for, this is what I live for. I never quit, no, no, this is what I live for. I don't wanna see that white flag waving, this is to the bitter end. 'Cause this is what I live for, I never quit, no, no, this is what I live for. I take another swing, so I never miss, no, no, this is what I live for. It's time to kiss the ring, oh, I'm trying to get cold. 'Cause this is what I live for, this is what I live for. I never quit, no, no, this is what I live for. 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 This is what
Hello, everybody. I am so excited today because this woman, she is such a powerhouse. She is beautiful inside out. She is very powerful leader. She has a beautiful, amazing heart. And, she is very successful and she's very humble at the same time. So please help me welcome Emily Vavra. Emily, welcome. How are you doing?
Oh, Marina, I'm so good. I'm so excited to be here.
So I want to kind of jump right into the conversation because I know you're very present on social media and a lot of people probably know a little bit glimpses of your story, but a majority of them probably don't. So I want to actually go all the way back till when you were a little girl. And I want to know how you were raised. Were you raised with with the employee mentality or entrepreneurship, or were your parents telling you you can achieve everything you want in life, or maybe not as much? So how was your whole upbringing?
Oh, such a great question. I was raised in Minnesota by a single mom, and to be completely transparent, there was a lot of hardship. She had to live in an abusive boyfriend for years. And I raised myself half the time. One thing I really took from her, though, was work ethic. And, she raised us 3 kids by herself, and she worked multiple jobs, and she just got it done. And she made enough money that I could go to volleyball camp and, get the things that I needed to get to live life. But I really didn't know about entrepreneurship until I found network marketing. And I also didn't know about personal development until I found network marketing. So that was truly when I believe I just started to just change as a woman. And I learned how to love myself more. I learned that there's no limits. Everything transpired when I found network marketing in 2010.
So when you found it, like, did you immediately realize, okay, that's going to be my profession. I'm going to go all in. I'm going to learn the skills necessary. I'm going to dedicate and put all the time and effort into it, or you were just kind of like, let me see, let me see how it goes. What was your attitude?
For me, I was working multiple jobs at the time. I was a nanny, I was a massage therapist. And so when I found the profession and my mentor was doing it full time, that is really what I aspired to do. I wanted to create residual wealth. And so I cannonballed into the pool and committed to learning the skills and to just go until I learned, and just to never give up. And so I really had the attitude of like, this is going to be a part of what I do. I don't know if it'll be full-time what I do, but a part of what I do for the next 5 years. I committed to a 5-year plan because I knew that otherwise I would just be trading time for money. So I wanted to build something of my own.
So what was the 5-year plan? I mean, it's like, how did that, obviously you're here, so we know pretty much what was at the end of that 5-year plan, but did you exceed your expectation? Did you kind of like fulfill what you were trying to accomplish in that time frame? What was your kind of like, when you look at that 5-year mark, and what was your kind of like decision and kind of like feedback to yourself about it?
Yeah, I really believe that people usually overestimate where they'll be in a year and underestimate where they could be if they never gave up in 5 years. It's just the truth. And so for me, in my first year in the profession, I made $30,000, which as a 23-year-old young woman was life changing. But what you don't see, if you take away the money, is all the skills that I learned during that time. And then it started to compound. So I was still doing the same things I did in year 1, but in year 3, I became a millionaire with my company. And then shortly thereafter, I started making 7 figures a year. And so it wildly exceeded my expectations, for sure, especially looking at income. But what the thing you can't exactly measure, but I can feel it and I know it, is the growth I've had as a woman, because I stayed committed. And in the 5-year mark was like, who is she? Like, if you were to look at year 1 to year 5, you're like a completely different human being.
Yeah, I love that. That's kind of like, that's one of those side effects of our profession. It's like everybody's like, oh, I want the money, I want the money, I want the rank. But people don't realize the huge value that our profession brings is who you're becoming in the process. Because yes, it's not going to be easy, and you don't want it easy, because if you don't become a diamond, when everything is shiny and easy and simple, you become a diamond when you have the struggles, when you have to face the fears, when you have to overcome obstacles. That's when that beautiful stone is becoming that beautiful stone. And all of us understanding that, it's all part of the journey. It's not a marathon. You just kind of like do one step at a time and constantly improve and grow yourself. And that's, at the end, is just the biggest and the funnest reward is you. So tell me, what was your biggest aha, maybe like while you were building, either at the beginning, maybe it was something that you didn't expect that it's going to happen, or something that, or challenge that you had to face, or lesson that you actually ended up learning because of something? Were there something like this that just like, okay, I got this, I'm taking this thing to the next level?
Oh my gosh, there's so many ahas, but it definitely was in doing meetings and sharing the profession and sharing the compensation plan. And there is an art to it, and there's an art to the energy you bring to every meeting you do, whether it's virtual or in person, and learning how to ask good questions and learning how to not be desperate. And once I learned that, and how to do a meeting and how to sit across from somebody and get to know their why and their vision, and really allow them to see like how they could play a piece in this whole thing, that's when everything changed for me in the business. And, I feel like that's a skill that a lot of people don't hone in on. They don't go to work on it, because once you learn communication and the power of asking good questions and and really how to walk like a millionaire and talk like a millionaire, even before you are a millionaire. Once you learn just the success mindset, you can go anywhere in the world. You can do anything you want. But it was that moment where it started to click. And it's like that repetition just transformed me. And then I could go into any meeting, whether it was in front of a hotel room or sitting across from someone at coffee. And I felt like I could really get to the heart of the issue. I could really break barriers with them and get them to join and get them to see something. And that was pivotal for me.
Yeah, this is, it's so interesting because some people just don't realize how powerful and valuable your story is, how powerful it is to understand how, like you said, how to ask the right questions and how to behave yourself even before you arrived to a certain level of success, a certain rank. How that builds the confidence and how it changes your posture, the way you present your products and your opportunity, because that's how the people going to perceive it. And that's how, if you don't believe in you, if you don't believe in your company, if you don't believe in your product, guess what? Your prospect's not going to believe in it either. So you need to sell this first. You need to sell your attitude, your belief, your passion, your excitement, your vision. And that's what people are going to buy more than anything. So kind of like staying on that same note, because you probably very few people inside of our profession, you build such an amazing brand for you. You are sassy and classy and sexy and powerful and a kick-ass and humble all in once. Oh. So every time I looked at your Instagram or any other social media profiles, it's just like there's a little bit of everything. You're showing different kinds of Emily. You're showing a badass Emily. You're showing a vulnerable Emily. And you're showing also the business Emily. And you're also showing a workout everyday girl. So tell me about importance of the brand, and also, was that the way you designed it? Was it on purpose, or it just happened by accident, or how this Emily that we know today, how she came about?
Oh, well, first of all, thank you. Second of all, this is such a powerful question, because when I first got into personal development, the industry, I thought that I had to be exactly like everybody else. And anybody that knows themselves, if you try to force yourself into a box and it's not you, it feels gross, right? And so I just started to go back to, who is Emily? What are the things that lights my soul on fire? And when it comes to social media, and I've been training this for years, I always tell people, pick 3 to 5 things that you love talking about that are very much in your day-to-day life, that's not going to be hard for you to share. And for me, it's things like working out, eating healthy, it's being a badass, building businesses, it's serving people, it's style, it's fashion, it's all these things. And so I just interweave it into my social media because it's a part of the fabric of my life. Like before this, I was doing a Zoom call with some of our team. And then, earlier this morning, I was doing a meditation, and it's not forced because it's a part of what I do. And so people do business with people they like, know, and trust. So if you're showing up how you really are on social, and that's how you really are in real life, I find it's just this easy, beautiful, seamless attraction thing because you're not pretending. And that's why I think it's so important some days to show the vulnerable side, because it's like, I don't like to wear a mask. And even a top leader has hard moments in life, and they're going through things like, Marina, I just saw the other day, you did a video on being overwhelmed, and like, how relatable was that? It's like, oh, she gets overwhelmed too. Okay, what does she do? And it humanizes everything. And so I think it's important to show like, hey, I can help you, and here's where I'm going. And I have confidence because the person with the most certainty and confidence wins. But at the same time, I'm just like you. And we both have hearts that beat, and we both want more, and we're both human. And that just like makes people attracted. And I think it's really important to show both sides.
Yeah, I think it's everybody got caught into the whole idea of pretending and becoming something that they're not, and because they think that's what sells, they think that's what attracts. I mean, it's like, let me show you, I'm such a badass, and I'm this, and I'm perfect in every single way. I'm like constantly remembering that Mary Poppins song, right? It's like, I'm practically perfect, but it's like, and I'm this and I'm that. But at some point, it's just like, if that's not who you truly are, if that's who you are, wonderful. But if that's not you, then eventually you cannot fake it all the time. And when people, because like at some point it was so funny to see like all the commercials and everything is like limousines and the helicopters and the mansions and all that stuff, and look at my lifestyle and look at my this, look at my that. And it felt like the whole network marketing profession had that little stigma, and like, let me show my lifestyle. And in most cases, people did not have that lifestyle. They just rented that car. They just rented, or they were just driving by somebody else's home or whatever. But they thought that's what sells. And they forget. And because of that, I think one of the challenges is people come with the false expectations, because they come into the business thinking it's like, oh, I'm going to be rich tomorrow. Oh, I don't have to work. Oh, she going to do all the work for me, or he going to do all the work for me. I just need to stay, because like one of those stupid questions, not questions, but comments will always say is like, oh, if you don't quit, you're not going to lose in network marketing. Well, yeah, you guaranteed of losing if you quit, but you're not guaranteed success if you stay. You have to do the work. You have to learn the skills. You have to build the mindset necessary to become an entrepreneur, to break free from the employee mindset that somebody has to do something for you, or somebody gonna be giving you assignments and checking and making sure you've done and accomplished certain things. It's a solo journey, even though we have a huge support, even though we have mentorship and personal development, and our companies are pouring into all of your personal growth and development. It's still, you have to do the work. You are the person who is picking up that phone. You are the person who needs to jump on that live or three-way call or whatever and do that presentation. You are the person who needs to train your team. You are the person who still need to recruit them. You need to be doing this business. You are the business. But if you're pretending to be something that you're not, eventually you're going to be sick and tired of it, and it's just not going to work. So I think showing people the struggle sometimes, it actually inspires them even more, because there's like, yeah, I can do this. Yeah, if she can do it, I can do it. And yeah, because now it all of a sudden seems real. Now it's more in alignment with life, what things look like. And I know that you have so many projects going on. You're doing this, you're launching your products, you're launching this, and you kind of like, I don't even know. I lost track. It's like, I know you do something in fashion, and I know you do something in this and that. So tell me what Emily, I don't know if we're going to call it 2.0, 2.5, or whatever it is, means where you see yourself 5 years from now, professionally and personally.
Oh my gosh. Well, first of all, everything you just said is fire. I'm like ready to go run a marathon right now. Literally what you said, I'm like so fired up. But where I see myself in 5 years is becoming a household name, and whatever that means. It's not about the number of followers. It's about how many people I'm impacting and the different businesses I'm creating. And for me, I love creating, and I love creating things that enhance people's lives. And I also see myself continuing to explode in the network marketing profession. And, it was so funny because I was talking with someone in Hollywood the other day, and they were like asking so many questions about network marketing, and they're like, wow, so, okay, it's residual. And I'm like, yeah, you get paid every week, or depending on how your company's set up, every week, where this person has a gig, and once they're not cool anymore, they get shoved to the side and they no longer make that reoccurring income. And I was explaining to them how I will never go away from it. Number one, for that. Number two, I can take any person and bring them into an environment and coach them and help them, nurture them to their desired income goal and just their personal development. I don't know any other profession like that. And so I will always be in pursuit. I will always be leading teams. I will always be doing this in the profession, but I see myself speaking more, impacting more, and just lighting people on fire and helping people understand that they can be just like me and they can have anything they want in this life if they just give up the excuses and the BS and all that stuff. And I'm just going to continue to see where God takes me. And I pray every day to be used. I just want to be used up, because at the end of the day, like, and I love style and I love stuff and I love cars, but there's only so many cars I can have and so many handbags I can have. And there's, you know this just as well as I do, Marina. There's nothing as great as creating something. I mean, look at the GoPro stage. Look at, I mean, how many lives have been directly impacted because you've stayed up late at night, you figured things out. I mean, that is real fulfillment, and that's your legacy. And so for me, that's what I look for. I look for rich, meaningful relationships that have depth. I want all my relationships to have depth and just love and beauty. And I want to have the fire to continue going, and I'm always going to do it. But I also want to have peace at the same time in my heart. And I think you can have it all. I really do. You can have both.
So tell me, talk to me about your day. What's your typical day looks like? Because a lot of people is like, one of the common themes that I keep hearing, and you mentioned that I did the video on the overwhelm, is everybody, especially women, we are overwhelmed. And we are just like, oh my gosh, there's this and this and that, and all the different projects and all the duties that we need to do at home, and the kids and the spouses or significant others or whatever your family looks like at this point. And now kids at home, and now you need to homeschool or whatever it might be. Or if you're just a single, but you have so much work or whatever, or you're struggling to provide for yourself. So there is a lot of different kinds of overwhelm, financial or health-wise, or just life in general. So, and I know you're managing so many different projects. So what do you do if you get into that state? Or how do you structure your day so you don't get into that state?
Yeah. This is key, and it all lies in what is your priorities. And I was just coaching a group of women, and I was asking them, what is your goals? What are your dreams? What do you want? And they all wanted to create that change. They all wanted to create financial freedom. And then I asked them, make a list of all the things that you do they're not even getting you closer to that goal. They're wasting your time, wasting your energy. You're doing it out of obligation. Like, if you want to do anything great in this world, you're going to have to learn to exercise the no muscle. And that's just with anything. So it's structuring your day. And so for me, when I get overwhelmed, I look at, what am I focusing on right now? Like, what is the 1 to 2 things that I'm trying to grow? Is it the team? Is it myself? Is it a project? Whatever. And then I build that into my days. But I bookend my days with a morning routine and a nightly routine. Then that is what keeps me on track. Because if I don't get up in the morning and do my morning routine, then I just go to my phone. I don't remember what's most important to me. I don't create. I don't have an idea of what to put on social media. I don't even know. I'm just reacting to everybody. And that's the surefire way to feel really overwhelmed. And so I start my morning very simply with getting up without listening or looking at my phone. I get a glass of water with lemon. I go into and I do my priming exercises that I do with gratitude, visualization. And then from there, I take a notebook and I brain dump. And I also am looking at my schedule for the day, my week. And I just look at what I'm going to do that day and what I need to be ready for and what joy I'm going to bring to all these things, including this meeting. And so I look at that, and then I do my workout, and then I start my work day. And that, is filled with meetings. In network marketing, it's getting people into the business, welcome calls, things like that. Other projects I'm working on. But at the end of the day, and this is key, this is what a lot of people don't do. I get off my phone at 10 p.m. I put it on airplane mode, and I check out of the day. So I look at what happened today. What 2 things did I do that moved my business forward that I'm proud of? What changes do I need to make tomorrow? I do some gratitude, and I get my sleep. And so that way I can be sane. I can think clear. So these are just a few things I do when I get overwhelmed. And I find that when we're overwhelmed, it's just because we're taking on a lot of things that that aren't providing us with the energy to get us closer to our goals. Sometimes I'll even take a walk and I'm like, why am I doing this again? Okay, what's the goal? What's the end objective? And I'm a results driven human. Like, it's just, that's how my brain works. I'm like, how are we going to get there? And so sometimes like it is a little foggy of how you're going to get there. But if you keep reassessing and saying, is this currently working? Yes or no? And then you move on from it. So that's what I constantly do. And I build in rest as well. I think that's very key. Like on Sunday, I already have a massage scheduled. I already am going to yoga. And like I build that in so that way I can rest so I can amp back up on Monday morning.
Yeah, I think the key here is, first of all, definitely structure your day, because like I'm a very organized person. So for me, structuring my day is very important. But if you look at my calendar, it looks crazy. It looks insane, because like every minute something is happening on my calendar. And sometimes you can even feel overwhelmed because all of this stuff is on that calendar. But one of the things that I've learned is, change, like I told in my video, is the lesson I've learned from Marie Forleo, or is like, I don't do overwhelm, so yeah. It sounds super simple. It's simple to the point that it's like almost like ridiculous. It's like, it seems like it's dumb and it's not going to work, but it's easier said than done, but it's actually easy to do. It's not that complicated. It's actually, once you make that distinction and you decide, it's like, oh, I guess I am in control of this. I am in control of that emotion, and I can change that state. And I was like, I'm not going to do overwhelm anymore. And it was so interesting for me to see that after just a week of paying attention to that particular emotion and not doing it consciously and subconsciously, changed my energy completely. I still have a ton of work that needs to be done, but I have a different attitude about it. I'm not running around like, oh my gosh, all this stuff is happening. I'm just like, you know what? I'm going to get it done. And I'm going to get it done amazingly, on time and on my term. And I'm learning. And it's like, I wish I could say, it's like, look at me. I got it all figured out, and I have a perfect day, and I have a perfect morning routine. You are way more organized than me, because at least in your morning and evening routines, I'm still kind of like, I'm thinking about it. I'm trying them on, it's like, I know that I need to work out in the mornings because that's what helps me, but I'm still kind of like working, because I know I'm really good in the mornings. That's where my creative flow goes the best. So I need to block even more consciously that period of time for me, so I can start putting things on paper creatively and kind of like put the bigger vision on my life and our business. But organizing it, at least paying attention, at least realizing it, that those are some of my weaknesses that I have to work on, helps me to take those steps necessary to get better at it, and surrounding myself with people who already mastered that I can learn from. And I can kind of like, okay, what is your tip? What is your tip? Okay, I'm learning all those little tips from all the successful people I'm getting in contact with. And it's so interesting to know. And I mean, it's like, I know that, but kind of like seeing it in real life is interesting, because we all think that you need some huge event in order to make a breakthrough in your life, and a big aha needs to happen. But people don't realize big ahas happen in those milliseconds, or one word or one key distinction, just one little concept that shifts your mindset 360, and all of a sudden now you're a new human.
It is so true. 100%. That for me was not looking at my phone right away. And I feel so at peace, in control, and I'm able to just go into my day with joy. And I know I'm clear of what I'm going to do, instead of reacting to everybody else. Like, it's like the little things. And that's what I love about the Most Powerful Women's event, because you get all these powerful beyond women that give you nuggets, and you can just take them and insert them into your life. And all together, it creates a dramatic shift, which is so incredible.
Yeah, I think that the key point, and I just thought of it, is for us, especially women, is to realize that we are the masters of our lives. We are the producers, we're the directors, we're the main star, we are all of those in one. And it's up to us what we're going to design. It's up to us how we want to structure our day, and let the world run around us, not us run around the world, because that's when the overwhelm happens. But when you allow the rest of it happen around you and you are the center of the universe, it's actually as simple as it sounds. It's pretty powerful concept, and I'm getting better and better at it. So with that being said, because I know you and I can probably talk for hours, and we're never going to run out of topics to talk about. But I wanted to kind of like close it up with, you're going to be speaking at the Most Powerful Women event, and you spoke multiple times on stage. You spoke at the GoPro event, the virtual GoPro. It was so powerful. I think your presentation was one of the most powerful presentations at the event. I know it was emotional. It was, it had a lot of great value and important tips in it. So do you have any idea what you're going to be sharing at the women's event? I know you and I didn't talk about it, but the whole kind of like, I'm shifting a little bit the structure of the event, in a sense that I want to dedicate this event to closing the gap. Because we all know that there is something that we should be doing, but we're only doing so much. And there is that gap, and we do not know how to close it. In my opinion, it's the mindset. In my opinion, is the belief in ourselves that we women are pretty horrible at. We believe in everybody, but we don't believe in ourselves. We don't give ourselves enough credit. We punch ourselves like a punching bag every single time, blaming and complaining because it's always our fault, no matter what happens. You know, if tomorrow, God forbid, some steroid falls on the earth, it's gonna be our fault too. So we just kind of like, and once we get to the certain level of success, we still think that we're not deserving of that success or of that high rank or of the money or whatever it might be. So in all that, I know you are really, really amazing and powerful with the whole mindset things. Like, what do you think is your best skill or your best, you know, concept that you can help and train people so they can help them to close that gap?
Yeah. Oh, spot on. And I see it and I feel it out there in network marketing. It's like people are like, they think they get it, but they're not actually practicing it. And I love to help people level up in their level of prestige, if you will. And I believe that it is a total mindset thing. It's shifting a little bit of how you do your day-to-day activities. As simple as the way you dress, getting dressed up in the morning, even though you're working from home, doing your hair, doing your nails, simple things like that. The way you set up your calendar, like there's areas in your life that if you would just amp it up a little bit or have some conscious awareness around it, you'll level up all your energy fields. You'll level up the way you attract in your business times 10. It's taking yourself more seriously so other people take you more serious. So I believe, you know, I think I'll do something on the lines of up-leveling your grace, having grace for yourself, having grace in not blaming yourself for past mistakes and maybe ways that you feel like you couldn't lead your team before. And we beat ourselves up as women constantly and not completely forgetting the past, but not living in your past and having grace. And so I practice daily grace constantly. So I want to teach that, how to up level your prestige. And that's something I can very much relate with. I mean, I shifted of walking like a millionaire, talking like a millionaire when I was driving a purple Saturn and, you know, had one nice blazer to my name and hand-me-down clothes and an old desk and a vision board. I shifted and I acted as if. And there's little things you can do in your presentations and the way you show up in the world that is going to vibrate out there so people will be attracted to what you're doing. So when you have a team of 5, they trust you. They see that you're leading them. You can lead them. There's different levels to your energy, to your frequency. So I'm going to train on that. I want to talk a little bit about your zone of genius, how to dive into your zone of genius. These are all areas of our life that if we really master it, we can become masterful and have more ease in what we do. And so I'm so excited. Like I'll bring it I'll do my meditation. And so that way I'll get the download of what exactly I'm supposed to say, but it's going to be game changing.
I love it. I love it. I hope you guys are taking notes because like I was just like sitting and like smiling. You can see me smiling kind of like in my face, but my heart is just kind of like exploding there because I know that you are in for such a treat because all the amazing and powerful speakers that are going to be presenting at the Most Powerful Women in Network Marketing event going to be pouring their hearts. I know it's so one of the things that I love about our profession on top of everything else we do, and especially at the women's event, the first event, I think I was blessed because the speakers that I had that year and every year ever since set the tone. All the presenters, they were not afraid to be vulnerable. They were not holding back any of their information, anything that they learned. They were pouring their hearts and souls into the audience, and everybody felt it. And I think that's what set the Most Powerful Women in Network Marketing event for success. And I think that's the reason why a lot of people say, at least all the women that I've met said that it's their favorite event, because it just gives that energy. It just gives that camaraderie, that sisterhood, that we embrace each other and we lift each other up. There is like, sometimes people ask me, it's like, oh, do you guys have cat fights? I was like, what are you talking about? I don't even know what that means. I was like, because inside of our profession, even though all of you on that stage will be representing a lot of different companies, but you don't see each other as a threat. You don't see each other as a competition. We all see each other as peers because we know more we pour into each other, stronger we're all going to be together. And more people will be able to see and realize what an amazing profession this is. So, like I shared with you before we started this live, I want to bring at least 200,000, 250,000 people to this event, because imagine what's going to happen with our profession. And you keep hearing me saying that over and over again, and I'll continue to tell you my vision over and over again, because I believe in it, but I want all of you to believe in it, because once you believe in it, we're going to absolutely make it happen. Because imagine people are going to start asking questions once they see that we have that huge amount of people at this event. First of all, it's going to be the world record. I'm going to bring the Guinness Book of Records. I'm going to record it. We're going to make sure that everybody knows about it, right? And we're going to go big PR push. We're going to blow it up, right? But imagine what people gonna start asking questions, like those of them who were laughing at you at the beginning or asking, are you still doing that little thing or whatever, that little project or whatever else you're doing? They all of a sudden gonna start taking it seriously. I'm not promising that all of a sudden they all gonna start signing up with you, but at least they're gonna be more open-minded. And us as women showing up so strong and powerfully at that event, we all of a sudden gonna be making a very serious statement to the world who most powerful women in network marketing are, what we are made of, what we are capable of, and how we can change the world because we are so strong and powerful together. So I am so excited. I cannot wait. And I cannot wait for you, Emily, to bring the heat.
Oh, I am equally as excited, and the world needs us. The world, we know this, it's shifted so much, and I am on so many calls where people's jobs have shifted, their incomes have shifted. They're looking to this profession for hope. They just don't have the belief level quite yet. So you invite them into an arena with the most powerful women in network marketing. They now see, wow, this is a profession where I can be myself, there's no limits, and it raises their game. It raises their mindset of what's possible. And this industry is exploding. People want to work from home. And when you're involved in network marketing, you have zero limits of what you can do here. And I just feel like this event, I just know that I know is going to bring out a lot of leadership. There's a lot of women watching this right now that have been playing small. They've only dipped their toe into the water. They haven't cannonballed in. You haven't even thought to yourself, could I possibly go there? Could I possibly make a 6 or 7 figure income? And I'll tell you when you attend this event that it's going to raise your lid. We all have lids we've capped ourselves on, and maybe you've seen yourself as a $500 a month income earner or whatever, this is going to raise the game for you. For sure. And you're going to learn something from every single person. I'm going to learn something from every single person. And it couldn't be more true. This event is so real. It's like you just take off the mask. The women that show up to this event, it's like they'll pour their heart and their soul into you. Every walk of life you can imagine, different ages, different backgrounds, and we all come together with one common goal. And it's to raise the profession. And that's what we're doing. So invite everybody. Like, I know I'm sitting here going, oh my gosh, I need to tell the world, get ready. And this is the place to go pro. This is where I went pro in the network marketing profession is with you guys. So I'm so excited.
Oh, thank you so much, Emily. So make sure you guys register and put in the comments below. If you already registered, let us know you registered. Or if you haven't yet, what are you waiting for? Come on. Go to the link mpw2021.com. It's like Most Powerful Women. So mpw2021.com. Register it absolutely free. Make sure you show up. Not just register, but make sure you show up, because during those 3 days, like Emily said, we will be pouring into you all different ideas and concepts and latest tools and latest things that are working right now today, and also how to help you close this gap that we all have, and how we can elevate and start shining our light much brighter than we ever did. So I cannot wait to see all of you guys, and make sure you register. Make sure you tell the world to register. And we cannot wait to see you. Thank you guys. Love you. And make sure to share this video so everybody else can learn from Emily and get ready and fired up to learn from her at the Most Powerful Women event. See you next time, guys.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.